My name is John Cave Rosais. My report is Section 43 to Section 48 of the Anti-Terrorism Law. So, Section 43 is about the penalty. The penalty of imprisonment of 6 years shall be imposed upon any person who knowingly furnishes false testimony, forged documents, or spurs evidence in any investigation or hearing conducted in relation to any violations under this act. Next is section 44, which is the continuous trial. So the the judge concerned shall set a case for continuous trial on a daily basis from Monday to Thursday or other short-term trial calendar to ensure compliance with the accused's right to speedy trial. So Contraria, continuous trial means that once commended shall continue from day to day as far as practicable practice practicable until terminated. So it must not exceed 180 days from the first day of the trial, except if it is provided by the Supreme Court. Next is Section 45, which is the Anti-Terrorism Council, also known as ATC. So it refers to the council created by virtue of Public Act number 9372, otherwise known as Human Security Act of 2007. And the ATC shall implement this act and assume the responsibility for the proper and effective implementation of the policies of the country against terrorism. So mo ni siya ang main council na mo counter sa terrorism sa ato ang country. And the secretariat of the ATC is the National Intelligence Coordinating Agency, which is also known as NICA. So the NICA shall be the secretariat of the ATC, and the ATC shall define the powers, duties, and functions of the NICA secretariat of the ATC. So what is ATC? What is NICA, or National Intelligence Coordinating Agency? So it is the primary intelligence gathering and analysis arm of the government of the Philippines. So siya ang mo-direct, mo-coordinate, and integrate all government activities involving national intelligence. So ano mga information, mga important information. Then part sa section 45 is also the supporting agencies of the ATC. So naadre ang DOST and the Department of Transportation, DOLE, DepEd, DSWD, the Presidential Advisor for Peace, Reunification and Unity, Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, NBI, OCD, uh, the Intelligence Service of Armed Forces of the Philippines, PCTC, PNP, CAD, and NCMF. So kani sila nga mga agency pwede ra po makig-coordinate ang ETC ani sa sa pag-counter sa terrorism dito sa ato ang country. So section 46 is the function of the council. The function of the Anti-Terrorism Council, the ATC. So first is to formulate and adopt plans, programs, preventive countermeasures against terrorism and terrorism in this country. So sa sa program na gi-base ano kay pwede na to ipaagi kanang seminar, education sa unuan sa what terrorism is all about, and also coordinate all national efforts to suppress, eradicate terrorism in the country, and mobilize the entire nation against terrorism prescribed in this act. Next is to direct the speedy investigation and prosecution of all persons detained or accused for any crime defined as penalized under this act. And next is to monitor the progress of the investigation and prosecution of all persons accused or detained for any crime defined and penalized under the provision of this act. So, dili sa ingon nga sila ang mo investigate since na may supporting agency like NBI, PNP nga mag-investigate og mga nga sa mga tao nga na-accuse or na-detain ani nga crime. So, ang function sa ATC is to monitor the progress. And then next is to establish and maintain comprehensive database information system on terrorism. So, labi na ang secretariat sa ATC is the NICA. So, which is the may hold o ganang mga intelligence, mga intel about terrorism also. So, next is to enlist the assistance and file the appropriate action with the AML to freeze or forfeit the funds, the bank, placement, trust accounts, assets, and property or of whatever kind and nature belonging to any person who is charged of this act. So, sila ang mo-file og kanang appropriate action nga kanaging ang mga funds sa kanang na-accuse nga tao sa ani nga act kay i-freeze ilahang kon ba i-freeze ilahang ng funds, especially kanang ma-connect na to ni siya sa money laundering no since terrorism man ang gistoryaan na. Next is to grant monetary rewards and other incentives to informers who give vital information leading to apprehension, arrest, detention, prosecution, and conviction of these persons or persons found guilty for this violation. So, ang ATC muhatag siya ganang reward for sa mga tao nga kanaging makahatag og kanang useful information gyud nga makapa preso sa labi na kanang nga high kanang kanang kataas-taasan sa terrorist. So next is to establish and maintain coordination with the cooperation and assistance of other states, jurisdiction, international entities, and organization in preventing and combating international terrorism. So, since the terrorism is a transnational crime, no, so magtinabangay gyapon ang tanang country ani. So, example sa next, take action on relevant resolution issued by the UN Security Council. So, mag-coordinate gyapon ta sa UN sa uban countries nga saon pag combat sa kanang terrorism since it is an international issue. So next is to lead in formulation and implementation of national strategic plan to prevent and combat terrorism. So sila ang magplan or mag-formulate og ganang mga strategies kung saon na to pag eliminate og sa mga terrorists diri sa ato ang country. Next is to request the Supreme Court to designate specific division of all courts of appeal or regional trial courts to handle all cases involving crimes defined and penalized under this act. So every move nga gibuhat sa other agencies or nga na dapat kanang mo file gyapon ta kanang appropriate nga issue kanang bali ato sila i-inform nga mao ni ang inyong buhaton like sa next investigate moto proprio. So moto proprio means it is a Latin of for on his own impulse. So it is an official act taken without formal request from another party. So mo na akong giingon nga every act no kay dapat na dyan formal request from other party. So next is the section 47, which is the Commission on Human Rights. So CHR conducts investigation on human rights violation against marginalized and vulnerable sectors of the society involving civil and political rights. So this commission was created as an independent office mandated to investigate complaints of human rights violations. So according to this section, uh, CHR shall prioritize investigation and prosecution in relation to the implementation of this act, since terrorism is a very serious issue in this country. So next is to ban extraordinary rendition. So na-explain na po ni sa previous nga reporter na unsa ang extraordinary rendition. So extraordinary rendition refers to transfer of a person suspected of being a terrorist or supporter of a terrorist organization for imprisonment. So for example kanang dili ko Filipino citizen pero ari ko nakabuhat sa crime, dili ko pwede nga i-transfer sa kung asa ko gikan ni adto ko i-investigate or interrogate or mapriso. Kung ari ko nasakpan nga sa kani nga act, ari ra jud ko nga ani ra jud ko i-interrogate or ma-imprison. So according to section 48, no person suspected or convicted of any of the crime defined and penalized under the provision section 4 to 12 of this act shall be subjected to extraordinary rendition to any country. So, ang mga crimes nga na-mention sa ako ang groupmate during a report is dili sa subjected to extraordinary rendition. So, for example, nakabuhat kag terrorism sa diri nga country, aray na jud gyapon kay investigate or mapriso. So, that's all for my report. Thank you.